Hi, this is Drew from Bike Peddler with more tech tips. Today we're going to be talking about the life of your chain and chain wear and the effects of chain wear on your drivetrain. So I got a couple chains sitting here on the counter with me. There's pretty much only one way to check a chain and see the life of it, and that is using a chain wear indication tool. This one made by Park is the CC 3.2. They run about $13, and it gives you a 50% reading and a 75% reading. If your chain is checking at 50%, you still have some time left with it, but think about a new chain in the future. If your chain is checking at 75%, that's the time to replace your chain before you do additional wear to your cassette and chain rings. Checking your chain is pretty straightforward. I have a brand new chain here and I have a worn chain on the other side. First thing we do is check with 50%. Hooking the tool in, letting it drop into the chain. 50% and 75% on a new chain will not engage. On an older chain, again, first you can check with 50% and it drops right into the chain, showing that the chain is beyond 50% wear. Next thing we do is check at 75. At 75, it still goes directly into the chain with no resistance. At that point, it's time to replace the chain before it does wear out your cassette or chain rings. What happens is the chain wears down, the links aren't stretching, the rollers in between are breaking down and getting smaller. What that does to your drivetrain is it takes your nice square teeth on your cogs and it spaces them out to where a new chain will not match. If you put a new chain on a worn out drivetrain, it's gonna slip right off. So knowing the wear of your chain and the life, where your chain's at in its life cycle, helps you preserve the rest of your drivetrain. If you catch it at 75% and replace it, you can keep rolling. If you go beyond that 75, you're gonna destroy your cassette and possibly your chain rings as well and have more parts to replace. So simply keeping a chain tool in your toolbox, checking your chain once a month will go a long way to keep the rest of your drivetrain looking nice and functioning properly. This has been Drew from the Bike Peddler with more tech tips. Check back with us next week.